let's check out some minis from the upcoming series, Wild Beyond the Witchlight by WizKids. I say it every time I do one of these reviews for upcoming products, how much I love the clear bases. What a step in the right direction for minis that is. And just take a look. I mean, as you can see, these minis with the clear bases, it doesn't hide the maps or terrain that you use. For example, right here is the Monster Fight Club Ice Wilds map, and you can see right through, which is great. I love it. Now, another thing that I really love about each line of WizKids Miniatures is it's great for new collectors building on to their collection, but for collectors like me who've been collecting for like 16, 17 years now, the variety and the just the individuality of these minis. You know, so it's like, yes, this could be a sorcerer, a warlock, a wizard, but it's very, it's also like specific in how it looks. Specific and yet great versatility. And that's what I love. So let's take a closer look. And we'll get to this swamp gas balloon before the end. So let's start with something that I really like. So I loved that 5E included Peritons. And WizKids put out some Peritons before that were fantastic. You know, the base suspending them originally was a little weak, and they've since modified that. And then here again is an example of improving on something that I already thought was great and making it better. So this is a terrific mini to throw at your heroes. I love the Periton. And look at the Grell. I only had some old school D&D mini Grells, so this is really cool to have. I love, you know, that it looks like it's drifting closer. Look, oh, drifting closer to your heroes in your game. This is terrific. And again, the sturdy bases that these flying creatures are standing on is fantastic. Speaking of flying creatures, while this one isn't flying, check out this green dragon Wyrmling. I know it's a named character from Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and I forget what name it is. There you go. But I love this. This is a great thing to throw at a low-level group of characters. Here's an example of WizKids Games making a mini that looks just like it does in the monster manual. And this one is a Pixie. I love the Pixie. We also have a Sprite. Again, looks just like the monster manual. So nice to have these tiny figures. Just can enhance your game rather than having to pretend it's something else. I know it's a game of imagination, and I certainly use my imagination a lot because I don't have every mini I need, you know, but a lot of small minis in this. Look, this is like a flower person wielding a blade. What like if you're running your characters through the Feywild or even just an enchanted forest, there are some fantastic miniatures to have in this set. For example, this one is one that both my sons want. Look at that. These two singing mushrooms. These could be enchanted mushrooms guarding a wizard's tower, maybe meant to greet visitors. Who knows? They look friendly, so maybe greet rather than guard. Check out this little guy with a mustache. And he's got something arcane floating behind him, a light perhaps. I actually didn't get the Wild Beyond the Witchlight book, so I'm not sure what some of these are, but that doesn't mean that I won't find use for them. And if you don't have that book, it doesn't mean that you won't find use for them. Again, these can be whatever you want them to be, not just what they're meant for. I love this blink dog. But this could also be some sort of sinister hound being summoned by a wizard through a portal or just through his own magic. In the brick, I ended up getting 2 of these new creatures. They're rabbit folk. And I believe in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, they are playable races. I'd like to take one of these and maybe paint it up like Bugs Bunny. And take that dagger and turn it into a carrot. But that's me, I'm old school, baby. Look what we have here. A red cap. I've gotten a couple red caps over the years. I like this guy best, though. Particularly because of that clear base, but I just like his cloak. These are mischievous little Fey that you don't want in your home, unless it's a mini. Here we have a Corrid, right? I believe that's what they're called. He's got his little goat legs, and he's got a whip. Again, lots of nice little Fey creatures that, you can use, again, in the Feywild or in an enchanted forest or a magical tower. Your imagination is the limit. Here's a Quickling. I like it. He's in motion and his hair is flying out behind him. Or her. This is tiny. I can't see. Let's see. Check this out. Check out this. What I imagine is a fairy dragon. Love the colors. Sir Talavar? All right. That's not the name I would have given this creature, but I didn't write the adventure. I'm gonna trust the people who wrote the adventure that they know what they're doing. So there were a couple options here for this one. I have a bag, and this head can come off, and then you can slip on. It's like a deer skull with antlers. But I could see myself losing that, and I really like just this kind of like head. It actually looks like a bag or an onion, right? Kind of reminds me of an onion. With these claws. I mean, this could be some sort of animated toy. Perhaps in Ravenloft, this is a Blinsky toy. Is no Blinsky is no fun. Check this out. Something about this reminds me of The Wizard of Oz. It's like Goblin Guard. Is that what that is? Feywild Goblin, yeah. Well, what makes a Feywild Goblin different than a regular goblin? Well, I'm glad you asked. I don't know that I know, but if I had to take a guess, I would say there's some sort of sinister magic about them. So this one makes me wish I got there's like a Bullywug King or Frog King, right? Look at this. Is like a court guard dressed in his finery. I love it. It's whimsical. Whimsical for sure. So this is a Darkling Elder, right? But this could also be a Drow Assassin, right? You could definitely get some varied use out of this. I like that. Speaking of Darklings, what do we have here? Another Darkling. In the old days, they were called Dark Creepers. This is just a Darkling. Dark Creeper, and the taller ones were the Dark Stalkers. Now, This is Jingle Jangle. And I think he's a goblin. But look at his feet positioning and his eyes. It suggests that this is a kinder goblin, perhaps a sympathetic goblin, or one sympathetic to the plight of heroes. Maybe someone who would betray their wicked master. I love that you get some unique pieces in here like this. This you can just put down any goblin that you may have, you know, for a a good goblin or a sympathetic goblin. But WizKids makes it, and then there it is, and it adds a little bit. I come from Theater of the Mind, but I do use minis in terrain and have for a while, so it's great to have pieces that offer that variety and that versatility. So now this is pretty cool, right? There's this dancer, and the set also comes with another one. I think it's like a sun and moon theme. So this is the sun one. This is just a great piece to have. Somebody maybe paid to dance in a tavern, or dancing in the streets for coin, or at an opera or something. This piece has so much versatility. It's just a lovely one to have. I mean, you could also look at, this could be like an assassin. Maybe the assassin guild is made up of these like highly competent dancers who come in, and like Black Widow, they jump on top of you and wrap their thighs around you and twist your neck until it breaks. Maybe. I like this one a lot. She could be a witch, right? I mean, she's a named mini. And maybe she could be a witch, this Zeblina or Zeblina. Or she could be a warlock in your game, a wizardress, an oracle. Just lots of possibilities, and could definitely use this in a number of situations. Let's see. This is a character named Will. And in your game, Will might just be a lovable urchin, or maybe somebody, a guide to guide you through a city. But this is great. For me, it's a great NPC character to have. I love having a variety of NPCs. Speaking of which, you got this person here. Let's see. Bobby. All right. Look at Bobby. Bobby should have been on a small base, I think. Stout little fellow. All right, let's spin over to the large minis. Is this one hysterical or what? It's a giant toad, or is it a frog? Giant toad, clearly having devoured somebody, in the process of devouring somebody. You know, it's not too late for that person to be rescued, perhaps. Are you up for the task? Love this one. Look at this. A giant dragonfly. Wouldn't this be like an incredible mount for a halfling or gnome? And you could just say, take your mini and put it on the base to symbolize flying around. Ah! Take your 2d6 damage from falling. Here we have a Feywild Troll, right? This is a troll from the Feywild. Look, the club has mushrooms on it. Look at that detail. And look at that sinister face. This really kind of reminds me of an old school troll with that long pointed nose. I love it. Let's see. We've got another unicorn. Always love unicorns. It's majestic. It's beautiful. It's, you know, these are always great to build up in your army, maybe to have a elven cavalry. You got a Femorian, another Femorian from WizKids. These are great for building up your army of twisted giants. Again, look at the detail. Look at the face. All the nodules growing on it. Here we have a giant snail. Look at it glisten. It's almost lifelike. These things are gross. I know some people love snails. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. All right. Yeah, I saved these two because these are just really terrific. Now, this is a hag. And just, she is so creepy looking. And it's, let's see if you can see in there. There's like a figure holding a sword. You can see that sword, look at right there. You can see it. So there's like some sort of figure in there. She's got multiple hands and a face that's shrouded. And look at these like giant like spider legs. This is like really twisted, right? Look at this thing. It's like this mechanical flying bird. Oh, damn, what are these pegs for? Oh, check it out. Look, so the base just pops off. And then, look at that. And then she mounts on that. So she can fly around. Dun, 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 dun. That's my Wizard of Oz witch flying music. Gotta admit, that's pretty good. Imitation. So that is good. And look at, don't be alarmed. If you ended up losing this piece, she still stands. You know, just, it's just better to have it. And then you've got the swamp gas balloon. Now, the swamp gas balloon is pretty spectacular. I love this thing. And look, it does fit minis. You can put minis in there. Like you can get, you know, a number of minis in here. Let's put 3 in just to show you. I mean, it could easily fit 3 more. This is made, it's like got some like, kind of like, this is rubber here, but it looks great. Looks like rope. The basket is a hard rubber. This is actually, you know, a pretty solid piece. It's supported by a pole going all the way up and then a nice thick base for flying. But this balloon, this swamp gas balloon was definitely, you know, on my wish list. So I'm so thankful that WizKids sent it out. So these are the main minis in the core set for the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And I've got some other minis to show you soon.